If Mr.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Shuddering. We saw Late Night with the Devil, which was recommended highly. We have no idea why. It was crazy. You want to talk a little bit about what you thought of it before I blast through this thing?
How about what it's about first?
Yeah.
So it's about like a late night talk show host, a lost broadcaster.
From the 70s.
Yeah, from the 70s. And he's trying to captivate his audience with a special Halloween show to try to get his ratings up.
Yep.
That probably does work, but along the way, it was...
Yeah, I mean, so there's a couple cool things, very few. One, it's shot in like Technicolor, in the 70s look. It looks very vintage. If you remember back the Johnny Carson show and those sort of things, that looks like it. The sets look like it. The outfits look like it. They did a great job on that. They even did a good job on the guests that were very much like the guests that you would have back in the 70s. And as you said, it was failing. So they had to get their ratings up. Halloween show. Of course, the title kind of gives it away, Late Night with the Devil. And so they have, what was it? The first guest was like a psychic, a medium. And he...
quickly lost his accent.
Yeah, that was
from
weird.
From one scene to the next.
And they didn't even say that unless it was intentional to throw you off that he's a fraud. So they have him on there and he connects with people in the audience, blah, blah, blah. Then they have a guy that many of you may remember called the Amazing Randy. They used a different name, but it's the same character. There was a guy named Amazing Randy who would debunk every psychic and offered them, I believe it was $1 million to check. This guy does the same thing. He offers them $100,000 or whatever it was, and he'll debunk anybody. He used to be a magician, so he knows the tricks. Same premise as the Amazing Randy. So he comes out, starts debunking the psychic.
And I think he increased it from 100,000 to 500,000 at one point.
Yeah, and then the psychic gets sick and throws up
the first most horrible effect
that
I've ever seen in my life, that I held it until the very end to look at you and say, what on earth?
Yeah.
It was like it
was all CGI.
Movie.
Yeah, it was like somebody drew black stuff coming out of his mouth, like throw up, and then threw black oil on somebody that hit it. It was terrible.
But the whole movie, I just kept thinking it looked like a movie that was created just at somebody's house with their own...
Yeah, as a joke.
Yeah.
Almost like I think I said it was like watching a kid's play when you know it's really bad. So anyways, the thing is this, there's a secret behind him. They hint that he was part of a cult. There's some similarities to that. There's a cult that I think that guy from InfoWars came out and was trying to say there is, where rich old guys go and there's all kinds of debauchery that happens, blah, blah, blah. So the talk show host has this connection to that. They hint to that. Anyways, he lost his wife to cancer. And they bring out this girl and an author, which I believe he's messing with the author.
For sure.
And the story is the conversation with the devil, and the little girl's possessed. So as it goes through, he eggs the audience on to, of course, let's see it happen. Let's talk to the devil and blah. So they do. And the little girl becomes possessed or whatever.
Her character was cool. The way that creepy looks that she made, where she'd like try to make well with the audience and her creepy smile, and then go straight faced, and
the practical effects, the cutting and the little bit of the Linda Blair Exorcist look was good, and that's where it ends with the good. I don't want to spoil it, but I will, kind of. Things happen, right? People start. She goes nuts, and here's where the effects absolutely was insane.
That was entertainment in itself, though. They were so bad that was probably the most entertaining part of the movie, was to go, what were they thinking?
Exactly. I mean, the effects didn't even look like it was a person. It looked like it was all computer-generated static graphics of the girl splitting her head. Yeah, graphics. Really bad. And even the lightning around the room was just, I mean, you could buy effects for your iPhone that look better than this. Absolutely horrible. It was not scary one bit. There was no jump scares. There was no gross. I think that the most intense thing was the Ed McMahon character, the co-host guy, head turning. That was it.
Yeah.
Nothing else was good. A guy on fire, and I'll show in the pictures. The effects are so bad that the screenshot I got shows him without the flames at all. They just like skip so much of it. I don't know. Let's pull the fright meters out on this one. What do you give this?
I don't give it.
You're taking all the way down to shit?
I'll take it down to the shit.
Yeah, I gave it to shit too. This was absolutely stay away. Not recommended whatsoever. Complete waste of time. And they set it up to be so good. That's the bad thing about this. They did make it look vintage 77. The movie poster looked vintage 77.
The trailer looked good.
The trailer looked good.
In fact, that's why I was hopeful. That's why I sat through, I think, 18 minutes and made you hit pause and said, how far into this are we? It was 18 minutes of
and
really nothing happened. Him competing with, him competing with other news.
Oh yeah,
or new late night shows. But I was like, there's got to be some hope. Maybe something crazy is going to happen right away, but it really didn't. It was just like shit entertainment, I guess you could say.
And they even had, and I don't know if this is true, but on the trailer it shows Stephen King even says it was scary, which I think it's a different Stephen King. It had to be Stephen King.
No, it's his spelled Stephen.
Yeah,
right?
It was.
Yeah, Stephen.
So there's just some things wrong with this. Don't recommend it. Don't waste your time. It is on Shudder.
Unless you want a good laugh.
Yeah.
Or to just like what the heck moment. But yeah, it was definitely not good for me.
So that's it for us. Don't recommend this one at all. Late Night with the Devil. We should have come up with a fun name to call it because of Late Night with Shit. I guess. All right. We'll see you.